Today, we've got one of the top minds in the entire Amazon game back on the show, Leo Sgovio. He's going to be talking about a wide variety of topics, such as the impact on indexing and ranking by optimizing your Amazon images and much, much more. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think.
Are you a 6, 7, or 8-figure seller and want to network in a private mastermind group with other experienced sellers? Or maybe you want to take advantage of monthly advanced training sessions with Kevin King, an expert guest. Do you want to come to our quarterly in-person all-day trainings at Helium 10 headquarters? Or do you want the widest access to the Helium 10 set of tools? For all of these things, the Elite program might be for you. For more information on Helium 10 Elite, go to h10.me/elite.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And speaking of the e-commerce world, I'm on the other side of the world right now. For those of you listening, maybe I sound a little different. We are in the Avasc office here in Madrid, Spain, right in the middle of our Elite workshop. And just about 15 minutes ago, we had our very first speaker. All the other speakers are very mad at him because he started off and he set the bar really high with his talk. But we've got no stranger to the show, Leo Sgovio. Leo, how's it going?
Bradley, good morning. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Awesome. Yeah, this morning was great. I'm actually happy. This is my first time in Madrid. Yes, I actually just stopped once. I think I was on my way to Puerto Rico. But yesterday I got to enjoy the city. Today I'm here at the Avasc office in Madrid. So happy to be here and happy to be your guest again.
Awesome. So now, it's been a while since Leo's been on the show. So let's first just catch up with what you've been up to. Have you been launching products on Amazon? You've just been focused on building software? What have you been up to the last couple of years since you've been on the show?
Yeah, it's been a crazy year for me, actually. I've been involved in a couple of different projects. We are obviously always looking for new products to launch. What kept me very busy in the past year has been software that I've been working on for influencer and affiliate marketing. And actually, this Airbnb project in south of Italy, which has been kind of a roller coaster. Yeah. So you actually moved, because I remember you went from Canada to Florida, yes. And then a few months ago you moved back to your home country of Italy, but then this was always meant to be kind of just like a winter or summer home for you? Yeah, that is correct. I have family in Italy. And recently, their area of Italy is called Puglia. It's in the southeast. Was becoming more and more popular and more expensive. And so I decided to buy a property there so that we could spend a week or a month in the summertime, perhaps when in Florida it's too hot, go in south of Italy, invite some of my Amazon friends, mastermind. And so that's the plan. Now, I was supposed to be there only for a couple of months just to see what was going on. But when I got the keys, I realized that the place needed a lot of work. And so I've been stuck in Italy since November, actually, of last year. And I'll probably stay there for 2 more months before going back to Miami.
What passport do you have? What country passports?
I have Italian and Canadian passport.
Okay, so then when you bought this house, you use your Italian citizenship.
No, actually, I could participate to an auction because I bought this place at an auction, not the $1 ones. It was more than that. But yes, because of my Italian citizenship, it allowed me to participate to an auction. But everything that I'm doing is as a Canadian citizen. It works out better from tax perspective and all that.
Okay, so that's why I was asking about this, because I think this is, somebody might be jumping in the show. What are we talking about, Airbnb here? But as e-commerce entrepreneurs, Amazon sellers, maybe we make a little money. Maybe we're not interested in exiting our business, but now we have extra money. Do we start other businesses? Maybe something that has nothing to do with Amazon, but I hear of more Amazon sellers doing something similar where they go, not necessarily Italy, but another country, buy a house. And then so as a Canadian citizen or as an American citizen, I would assume it's about the same. What's the process of participating in this Italian auction to be able to buy this house?
I think you need to have someone in Italy or a friend, someone with an Italian citizenship in order to buy a place at the auction. Otherwise, you just have to go to a real estate agent and buy a regular place. The reason for me it was convenient is because it was a good deal if I was able to win the auction. And so, in real estate, you make money when you buy, not when you sell, right? If you buy for less, that's most likely guaranteed revenue or earnings whenever you sell. And so that's the reason why I did this. Now, I don't know exactly the process if I didn't have an Italian citizenship. But yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially Amazon sellers, whether when they exit or, if they're already doing quite well and they have good cash flow, they normally tend to invest in real estate, Airbnbs. You secure yourself passive income from that, and it's always a good investment.
So then would I have to have all cash though to once the auction closes, I can't finance over there?
Okay, so that's an interesting thing. I was going to finance the project. I ended up buying it cash because it just made more sense for me. But in Italy, they actually give you a mortgage as long as you can prove that you have income outside of Italy.
Okay. And then so you calculated out how much you can maybe get in Airbnb. And then so have you calculated, hey, for the other months of the year where I'm not staying here, I need to rent this place out X amount of time of the year and it's going to be worth it? Have you and did that analysis?
Yeah. So in this specific region of Italy, and the location where I bought in August, for a place with a pool and 4 or 5 bedrooms, you can charge 5,000 to 6,000 euro a week. So you make your money in the summertime. Ideally, as an investor, you don't want to go and spend time in the summertime there, but you want to go perhaps either early, like May or September, when the season starts to kind of slow down, and so you don't take out money from your profits, right? So my plan is to rent it out June, July, and August. If I have some good offers in September, maybe I'll rent it out. Otherwise, I'll go myself there in September or May. But yeah, normally throughout the year, Italy is a destination where you have a lot of tourism during summertime. Unless you're in Rome or Venice or Florence, which is always busy throughout the year, South, it's a summer destination, right? So you get a lot of tourism summertime, wintertime dies down. So you probably can get half of what you can get in the summer. But, it works out well because if you have a small apartment, for example, in a big city, and you are charging, $200, $300 a night, at the end of the year, you make the same money. So with these kind of properties, it's a little bit of a different investment. I went more on the luxury kind of market, hoping to work only with Americans, foreign tourism. But in my opinion, it's a great one.
Yeah. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Maybe you've had some success on Amazon and you're thinking of what kind of things to invest in, getting a property at a low price and maybe fixing it up, even though it's a headache a little bit, could be the route that you want to go. Now, we're going to talk a lot about some really cool Amazon strategy coming up, but you've been developing some software lately for a while now. It's not necessarily on Amazon, but it helps Amazon sellers. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I've been working, the software is called Spliced. I've been working on this for about 2 years now, and I was supposed to be already in market. And the reason why I'm late is because of what I just explained. It took me, took resources and energy a little bit of off the other project, but now we're ready to go. And the reason why I built this software is, Bradley, I have Combomat, which was my first software that I built. And then Amazon changed it to iOS, and so I had to find a way to pivot. But I already knew that influencer and affiliate marketing was the way to go, also for us Amazon sellers, in order to have a little bit more control over the traffic, over the business, and the revenue that we drive to our brands. And so with Spliced, my goal is to leverage the creators marketplace, which is huge between TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and leverage that to build affiliate networks for your own brand. There are already a lot of sellers out there that are doing a good job when it comes to affiliate marketing. Look at a brand like Goli. Goli, one of the key strategies for Goli was actually the affiliate marketing. And so with Spliced, my goal is to allow brands to look up into our marketplace, which has already been built with, we have over 20 million creators, and then approach them with an affiliate partnership instead of just UGC content. This is the reason why we didn't build, Inspire's just UGC campaigns. There's already plenty out there of softwares that, you can use for UGC. But in my opinion, if you have a solid affiliate network, you can keep launching new products, relaunching the same products. We use it for reviews if you need something like that. And you have more control over your business. And if you decide to launch your D2C website, you can leverage the same network and start pushing traffic off of Amazon. So there are a lot of reasons why I believe people should use a platform like that. It's like building an email list, but instead you're actually leveraging the creator marketplace.
Okay, yeah, interesting. I think TikTok, how it works, people's eyes are really open to more of influencer marketing. I mean, it's basically influencer marketing. There's not really SEO on TikTok, or it's not even if you understand the hashtags, it doesn't necessarily guarantee the virality. It's a numbers game, like getting, you get out to 25 influencers and maybe 24 do nothing. And then one person, even though they're small, they get on the For You page or something like that and literally can bring thousands and thousands of dollars. There's somebody I've been helping with, shipping their products, and they're, they're doing maybe some days 1,000, 1,500 units of sales for like this planner. And it was 100, they didn't spend any for PPC on TikTok, 100%, they just push the product to influencers, and then one here and one there just goes viral, and it just means a lot of business.
Yeah, I think, it's probably right now a big hype in the TikTok shops. Everyone is talking about them, working with affiliates. And it's probably one of the oldest marketing strategies, if we want to call it that way. The affiliate marketing works because of the power that, the individual creator, in this case, has to influence people, right? And so people want to buy from people. And if you, as a brand, do a good job and recruiting a few super affiliates, in this case, we're talking about good creators that will turn into affiliates, then you have to worry less about that promotion part of launching new products.
Interesting. Okay, now let's move a little bit back towards the Amazon world, and actually I'm going to go a little bit off of Amazon, but it's something that you talked about today in your speech, and we're not going to go too deep into it. If you guys want to really hear his presentation, you have to be an elite member. So you elite members, definitely make sure to look out for the recording on that. But one thing you were talking about when it comes to images, but the way you discovered this was you said you were checking indexing on Google. So we know on Amazon, if you want to check indexing, you just use Helium 10 index checker, right? Or if you don't have Helium 10, you can use the old school method of put the ASIN plus the keyword and search and see if it comes up. For just rudimentary index checking for keywords, if you want to see if your Amazon product is indexed on Google, how do you even see if you are?
Yeah, so normally on Google, you will copy your URL, search it on Google. You can also do a site column with your URL, and then Google will show only search results that are related to the domain you're searching. But if you type the whole domain, the whole URL, the canonical URL of your Amazon listing, if you are indexed, it will show there.
But what about if you're indexed for a specific keyword?
So if you're indexed for a specific keyword, then you want to put that URL plus the keyword, and then, or amazon.com/dp/your ASIN, or you can also do ASIN in quotes plus the keyword, and then you will see if you're indexed on Google from that keyword. It works in a similar way. But yeah, the presentation, we touched a lot on, the details of what was going on Google, which was dependent on the way that the listing was optimized on Amazon.
You talked about some advanced strategy, and we'll talk a little bit about that, about like images and stuff. But without the images, is there a way to force yourself to be indexed on Google? Like, for example, if you create a custom canonical URL, just insert the keywords, and then if you actually happen to, like maybe run some Google ads, get some conversions on that, will that index you for that keyword on Google?
Yeah, so based on some experiments that I've done, the easiest way to get indexed on Google is to publish some press releases on domains with good authority score, domain rank, and have your, pointing a link to your listing with the anchor text that you potentially also want to rank for, using that specific canonical tag that you get from your Amazon listing. So the reason why this works better is because normally Google indexes crawls these websites. Like, if you publish through PR News or something like that, they will be crawled. And so Google will find these links and then follow your Amazon listing, which obviously as a consequence will be indexed.
Okay, interesting. Now, taking it a step further, why should an Amazon seller even be concerned about indexing on Google? Like, obviously, if you're running Google ads, your goal is to get direct sales from it. But just being ranked organically, what kind of bumps do you see on sales, or how does it help a seller to be ranked high? Not just index. I mean, index doesn't do much, if you're ranked on page 30 or something, but how does ranking organically for a keyword help? What's the potential there for helping sales?
So there are a few reasons why you want to be indexed on Google. And for the most, let's start from the most advanced ones, right? Advanced sellers, they normally try to send traffic to Amazon, especially during the launch period, using external traffic, right? So Google, we know, is a good referral that tends to help your rankings. And so Amazon tends to reward you if they see traffic coming from Google. So if you're not indexed, you lose a chance to show Amazon that you are getting traffic from Google. Now, I have a theory that paid traffic has a little bit more weight than organic. But the reason why you want to be indexed, and the reason why you might want to be indexed for certain keywords, is so that when you drive traffic through the URL to Amazon, you can actually give attribution to that keyword. That's number one, right? So you can actually use these URLs as your, two-step. Number two, if you do a good job with your indexation and your listing is optimized, you actually also appear in the images, right? And so if people are looking for specific products, sometimes I search on Google using the images because I'm looking for specific products that might be hard to find on Amazon. But if I look through the Google images and I find the product, then I go to Amazon. And so if you're not indexed, you're also not going to be able to be found there. And Google Images actually gets a ton of traffic. So here are some of the reasons why, two of the reasons why. I can think of many more, but the most important are these ones. Google is still one of the largest search engine. And so missing out on that opportunity, I'm afraid it causes a lot of missed visibility for an Amazon seller at a listing level.
And then you've done some tests before where you noticed that that Amazon can read what the search was from Google, so that it when you get sales from a keyword in Google, it also potentially could help your Amazon ranking for that keyword, right?
Yeah, that is correct. There was a test that we have done 2 years ago, where everyone was talking about Google traffic, and so we drove traffic straight from Google paid to Amazon without using any keyword in the URL. And then we noticed that for the keywords that we were actually bidding on, we saw a lift in ranking. I remember going from position, I think it was 35 or so, to position 7 or 5. So we, surprisingly, we saw that Amazon was able to attribute that search query on Google, and then the ranking as a result for that keyword was actually improving on Amazon as well.
Okay, interesting. Now, let's switch and talk a little bit about images, because this also has to do with ranking on Amazon. It has to do with ranking on Google, getting indexed in Google. What has more of an impact with getting discovered or being able to be read by Google? Is it if you have an infographic and the actual words appear in the infographic, on the actual image, or is it the metadata, or it only works the best if you're doing both?
In my opinion, you have to do both. And the reason is that right now, every search engine uses AI to detect subjects, text, and everything on an image. If you're a Facebook advertiser, you probably know that they've had this for a long time. If you add more text on an image than the image, the visual itself, your ad wouldn't have been approved. And so, AI detection for images has been going on for a while. But now, since, ChatGPT came out and, Llama from Facebook, we have, we know we have a lot more information about this topic. And what we found is that the search engines, including Amazon and Google, they scan the content of your image, and they're able to rank these images based on the content of that image, including subject, context, and the subjects and text. Did I say that? So basically, what Google cares the most on top of that is also the metadata, because the metadata help the search engine classify that image. So while the content itself helps them understanding, okay, this is what this image is about, the actual metadata is more technical for the crawlers, the engine themselves, so that they can place you in certain categories. And so when it comes to Amazon, the content on the image right now, I noticed that through some different experiments, that is being used for ranking reasons. And so if you look at some products that don't have, for example, keywords on the images, they, unless, there are multiple factors, obviously, they play when it comes to rankings. But if you put two products side by side, same rankings, same ratings, same being on market for the same time period, time frame, and same price, one has text on images and keywords, and one doesn't, most likely the one with keywords on the images is going to rank better.
Okay, so then what Amazon sellers should be doing is for their main images, or in their image carousel, and their A+ content is, obviously you can't have text in your main image, that's against terms of service. Although if you can have the packaging there, that's a good opportunity. But then use the right keywords. But then also if you're using like Photoshop or something, you have, and we're not going to go into detail. It's like there's a bunch of crazy stuff about copyright and there's fields there that he talks about in his presentation. You'll have to watch the Elite workshop for that. But you've been doing testing where one has it, one doesn't, and then it gets you indexed on Google. And you've actually seen where the ones who did it, their Amazon sales were like way higher than the ones who didn't.
Yeah, that is correct. We analyzed an e-brace on Amazon. And this is work that I was doing with a friend of mine. And we were trying to understand why these competitors were actually indexed on Google, and they were indexed for certain keywords. Not the main keyword, but a variation of them. And so what I did, I created this Google Sheet where I was helping me understand which ones were indexed and for what keywords they were indexed. And that led me to see that the ASINs that actually were indexed on Google were indexed for keywords that were present on the A+ banners. And so when we did that, what happened? This happened within 48 hours. We noticed that Google indexed that specific product image, and they were actually featuring it as a search result on Google for the main search query. So that image wasn't used as a snippet or thumbnail for the listing itself. So the URL wasn't amazon.com/dp/asin, was amazon.com/the search, e-brace. So it took me to the search results page, but the image that they took as a featured image was actually the one of my client. And so that was very interesting because Google detected a refinement and it detected an update in that listing. It saw that image was very relevant for the search query because of the way that we optimized it using metadata, and then they used it as the main image on the Google search results. Now, this to me is fascinating and is very important because if you are a shopper and you're searching on Google for an e-brace and then you see, this image, most likely, that's psychological, right? Most likely when you land on the Amazon search results page, you're going to go and find that product. You're going to go and click that product. So, that added traffic, that added conversion rate helped us recover that ASIN and the sales that we were losing. But that was a very interesting experiment that we did.
Interesting. Okay. So again, if you guys want to get more information about that almost might be worth it just to subscribe to Helium 10 Elite for 1 week just to get that presentation. So if you guys want to look into that, go to h10.me/elite and see. It's only $99 extra. So make sure to sign up for that. Now, another thing that I think a lot of people have been talking about, not just you, but you were one of the first ones to talk about, semantic search and Cosmo and things like this. And we'll talk about what that means. But I think just to set some groundwork, I think everybody understands that any search algorithm will evolve over time. That's the whole purpose. Like the companies who don't want to do well, they'll just keep their algorithm the same, right? But anybody, whether we're talking about Google, Facebook, TikTok has an amazing algorithm. Amazon, it changes over time. And we've seen that, if we were searching 5 years ago on Amazon, it's different. Now, if you've bought how many of you who have bought something, you search for a keyword that has to do with that, and that thing that you bought is now at the top on your Amazon, maybe not somebody else. That didn't happen like 5-6 years ago. Last year, we showed an example of how you search a keyword that doesn't really exist. It's called noodle camera. And no listing has the word noodle camera in it, but there was like maybe 30 listings that came up, and it was like a stethoscope camera. It looks like a noodle. So 5 years ago, you put noodle camera, it would say 0 results because nobody has that in their listing. And these listings don't have that keyword in there, but it's showing up because Amazon shows history that, people don't know what this is called, stethoscope camera, but then they think it looks like a noodle. So then now it's showing listings. So we've seen this even for a year now. First of all, can you like Amazon science documents, we've talked about it, but like maybe 80-90% never actually is 100% in production. Like sometimes it goes into production, sometimes it doesn't. But what was it that made Cosmo so interesting, these documents that talked about it, that you're like, man, this is something that you think that Amazon is going to move towards?
Yeah, the reason why I think is something that would be applied at scale across the marketplace is because as searchers, as buyers, as shoppers, our goal when we use a search engine is to find a product or information that we need in order to solve a problem. And so as a technology company, in this case we're talking about Amazon, their goal is to improve, like Bradley said, the algorithm in order to simplify that search result and give you exactly what you're looking for by burning some steps in the middle, right? And so that's what Cosmo is designed for. Cosmo is designed to be a man in the middle between yourself and the search results, right? Where you work together with it to give feedback back and forth. And so what they do right now, they learn that you type a search query, they give you some result, you refine that result by clicking on some products that you think are relevant, and what they do with this information, they start building this knowledge graph, right? So a classic example, if you go on Wikipedia and search for something, Wikipedia normally links to other relevant sources. That's what they call the knowledge graph, right? They know that this is relevant to that, right? And so what Cosmo is trying to do, instead of you having to refine the search, they're refining it for you. So the example that I gave in my presentation this morning is that if someone is searching for winter coat, we saw a product that ranks number 1 on Amazon that doesn't have the word winter coat in the title, but yeah, they rank number 1. And so this is shocking, right? Like everyone's like, oh, title is supposed to be the most important element on the page when it comes to optimization, SEO. But this time, Amazon understood that you are looking for something that keep you warm, right? So now we're shifting from a keyword-based search to intent-based search. And so as sellers right now, what we need to do is understand what is the actual intent behind the person. Where am I selling this to? I'm selling this to someone that wants to stay warm, right? That's what the purpose of a winter coat is. And so with that intent in mind, we need to optimize listings so that we can convey the message through images, through the title, bullet points, and description, so that Amazon, the new Cosmo, understands that this product is something that helps people stay warm. And what I think is going to happen also, because of the shift in the way that these search results are built, which is more intent-based, is that Amazon then will start recommending also related products. So if you type in winter coat, they say, okay, well, this person is trying to stay warm, and so let me show them also some winter gloves and winter socks and maybe some winter boots, and that will change everything, right? They will change the way we advertise. They will change the way we try to be associated with other products. They will change the way we also promote our listings. So that's very interesting and fascinating. But I think it's a good thing for the buyer, right? While for our sellers might be challenging to figure out again, how do we optimize our listings, keeping this semantic concept in mind. For the buyer, and they've already proven, if you look at the Amazon Science document in the research papers, they're already saying that they're seeing a lift in conversion rate when Cosmo is applied to a search result page. So we must pay attention to this and monitor certain, it's challenging right now to understand where this is applied, but we need to monitor better the Amazon Marketplace and then evolve and adapt as Cosmo gets released into more categories.
Not to be controversial here, but to me, it's different, but it's not different. Like at the end of the day, Amazon wants to make money, right? So that winter coat that became number one, it's not number one necessarily because of new algorithm, because it would not be number one unless that is one of the best converting ones, because that's what gives Amazon the best chance to make money. But I think where the difference here is, or what's something that's quote unquote new is, it gives people more at-bats. Like maybe if I didn't have winter coat in my title, it might have been almost impossible for me to get on page one. But now Amazon is, all right, let's just throw it here. Oh, shoot, look at how well it's converting. Let's go ahead and push it all the way to the top. Whereas maybe, 4 years ago, unless you were super optimized for a certain keyword, you would never even have the at-bat. Like you would never even be able to get on page one, outside of PPC or something. So to me, that's like the difference. But something also, again, I keep saying I don't want to be controversial, but it's going to be, because there's a lot of people I respect in the industry who have been talking a lot about, things that, and I agree mostly with them, but I completely disagree when they say things like, oh, tools like maybe Helium 10, if they don't change, it's going to be out of date. To me, I cannot see a world where the traditional forms of keyword research are going to be not as important. In the future, if Amazon is super intuitive, of course, that's going to evolve. But the main reason we do keyword research is to get index and to also make our listing initially, because the Amazon algorithm is based on buyer interaction, right? Like, so, once it's been out there for 3-4 weeks, they have so many data points and how people searched and what they clicked on and stuff that, okay, now it can start doing advanced algorithms. But to even get it in the right pages, you had to have done the regular keyword research to show Amazon, because when you're brand new, day zero of your listing, Amazon has no idea what it is. It goes by the image, it goes by what you have in the title and how you have it. So my personal opinion is that no, like, of course, little things are going to change with keyword research here or there, but the main core of, hey, let me find the most important keywords, that's not going to change, because you have to tell Amazon on day one, what is your product?
So, Brad, yeah, I agree with you. And I think there is one important detail that is the link between, what you're saying and what this all semantic stuff is about, right? The reason why that winter coat might be ranking number one, even though the winter coat is not in the title, is because of the attributes of the winter coat. Amazon right now, which before they probably weren't doing, before Cosmo, right? They're looking at the attributes. So most likely, they are ranking this one very well because it contains goose feathers, or they have 300 grams of goose feathers per square meter or whatever foot. And so they now are using these attributes to understand, is this product warmer than this one? So while the keyword research tools are always going to be needed, what I think is an opportunity, for companies like Helium 10 is now, provide additional information to the seller together with the main keywords that helps also the listing be more relevant for Cosmo using attributes related to those keywords. So if the keyword is winter coat, what are the main attributes of coats, right? What does a coat have to have? Waterproof. Has to be warm. What kind of feeling? Is it polyester? Is it goose feathers? Also, is it long? Is short? Like things like that are going to be the difference between the traditional keyword research tools and the semantic powered keyword research tools. If you guys give the sellers the same list of keywords, and by the way, here are some attributes related to these keywords that will help Amazon Cosmo understand more about your product, I think that's the winner in my opinion.
Yeah, and in his presentation, he talked a lot about different things you can do to be more, semantically relevant. Using ChatGPT, so some really good features there. But that's important because we're not just talking about Amazon SEO. It's also going to help you on Google and Bing and these other things. And there's things that just the human mind we can't process, but a computer can process and tell you, hey, this is the keywords with the buyer intent, and this is the most important. And this is how you can relate yourself. So regardless of how much of this Amazon develops, it's already important now for outside of Amazon indexing. Now, before we get into your last strategy, and I have just a couple questions for you. If people want to get more information, reach out to you, find out about your new project you're working on, or just reach out to you, how can they find you out there?
I have my own website right now. It's leosgovio.com. So you can reach out to me on through my website. And
spell that, because it's not spelled exactly as you might think.
It's Leo, and then S as in Sam, G as in George, O, V as in Victor, I-O. Over there I have some information also about the semantic SEO stuff. So if you're more interested about this, I'd be happy to share my knowledge in depth. And LinkedIn is one of the platforms that I use the most.
Excellent. All right. Favorite Helium 10 tool?
Magnet.
If you were head of product at Helium 10, what is the one tool or function that you would bring that we do not have currently?
I believe I will combine what we just discussed about into one tool. And so it's an hybrid between a listing analyzer powered with recommendation based on the semantic stuff.
And your 30 to 60 second tip can be about anything for sellers out there.
Try to think about your current strategy when it comes to product inserts, to leverage it for UGC.
All right, guys, if you want more information, go to leosgovio.com. Check them out in the Helium 10 Elite, the Q2 workshop replay. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll definitely be reaching out to Leo next year to see what he's been up to.
Thanks, Bradley. I appreciate you having me again. And looking forward to the next one.
Adiós desde España.